So, okay, guys, this is 23 of October, and I'm gonna be recapping today's price action, going over it and reviewing it, where I could have performed better, done better, XYZ, because I feel like I had the right direction, but I still wasn't able to capitalize upon it. But that's why I want to revisit it and try to find out how I could have framed it in a better way. Okay, let's start from the daily chart as always. NQES. If I remove this, if I remove this, और ये पटाखों की भी आवाज आ रही है दूसरा पीछे से अच्छी बात आ
थोड़ी सी आई है
आ जाए कोई बात नहीं पता चलना चाहिए त्योहार त्योहार
रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन है ना?
ऑन है पता चलना चाहिए त्योहार मन रहे हैं यहाँ पे going into the day I was bullish on NQ and ES. I wasn't okay framing shorts on these assets here because of this. What if I show it to you on यार घूम ही जाते हैं इसी को दिखा देता हूँ like I wasn't okay framing away from this high, so this move lower I would frame this as retracement, and with retracement what where do I look for framing opportunities around equilibrium of the range. So this previous day came here, or you can use current low of the week resting only the level resting around equilibrium of the range, because I would want, if I would want this range to hold, then I would want price to respect or go off of this equilibrium of this range, because I do not take this move lower as a reversal and instead as a retracement or consolidation, because my main objective is still open. So current low of the week Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, weekly open low, so Thursday open low to high, this kind of idea, previous day manipulation, next day continuation. So, and taking in consideration of the average daily range, that's why I wasn't okay framing all the way to range high today itself, because it would be what, like 450 something points, that would be way past average daily range. So yes, just previous day high, around previous day high, but with ES same concept nahi, but same logic if we apply to it. This range here, again intra-week manipulation here, it's just that I hadn't marked it, I haven't marked it, yes. And the average daily range in ES supported long still there, this not here but at least still there. So I still am in these long still range high on ES. I would leave that for another session, but I wanna like do a recap of how I could have capitalized on the move prior to open, because I did miss it and now I do think I could have capitalized on it. So off of the daily time frame, the idea is pretty clear. NQS only bullish, no bearish idea. Okay. So yes, but if any asset tells us to go bearish, this would have been RTY or YM. Let's talk about YM for at first. YM I could frame bullish, YM I could frame bearish. If I want to frame bullish, then again using this range, and where if I take this move back inside as retracement, where should this retracement end? Around EQ of this range, discount of this range, and the best array resting here is this, so it should end here. Sweep of previous day low XYZ. So yes, I can frame shorts along, but how if I want to frame shorts? How shorts? weekly open high, then rejecting off of a relevant swing, then next day continuation, back to weekly open and current low of the week. So YMs did support both shorts and longs. This is just I am talking about the narrative how I can make out of the daily chart. Now the asset which only said bearish or nothing is this to me. If I remove these, this previous week manipulated a relevant level, displaced away from it. Next week, sorry, current week, which is the next week to this, ओए मैं मार चला दूंगा. ये क्या हो रहा है इसको? एक कैंडल बैक करने ना मेरे को आज हो गई. So previous week manipulated, next week which is this week open high, displacement away. So yeah, this supported the idea of reversal off of here. So yeah, my minimum objective would be this or this previous week low you can say, but logically this as a bare minimum objective. Tuesday manipulation, Wednesday, Thursday continuation. So this is just off of that daily time frame. Now RTY never gave any framework to short, so let's not, I would not talk about it, but NQ did, NQ and ES did give framework for longs. That is what I want to go over. Now let's get back. Now NQES off of the daily as we saw. This is current low of the week. Manipulation here. Protected low below weekly open. Objective pending above weekly open. So weekly open low. Next day continuation. Framing this as open low high of the weekly candle. Make sense? Okay, yes. Now next day NQ reaches for this level, the last level where, or the only level where the low of this day, which is supposed to be a continuation away from this reversal. So NQ reaches for this level where this is the last spot, the low of the day, protected low of the day should form. As if this low fails to reject price higher, if this is failing, then this reversal off of here is failing as well. So this should reject price higher, as if this framework weekly open low high, if this wants to stay intact, then this low should reject price higher. Bullish order flow, relevant lows should reject price higher. The only spot where the low of the day should form. Okay, so at the same time for ES it had SMT there, this here. Framework is still the same. Weekly open low, next day continuation away from it towards the open objectives. YM, I had both side double-sided expectation. I can frame longs, I can frame shorts. Longs off of previous day low and shorts away from here, right? But if shorts, then I would have wanted price to form a high of the day at either here or here at max, right? Like if price tags these, already tagged this, so not even would take this into consideration, then price should form a high of the day if it wants to go bearish here immediately. But it fails to displace away from here, right? So then that narrative is not being confirmed. This isn't the displacement you want to see away from the level it is supposed to reverse price. Then this bullish framework is in the play, but better draws, better everything for NQES. So let's just keep it to NQES. This अगर मैं weekly open ऑफ ही कर दूं, it is confusing a bit. This here, same framework, okay, weekly open low, Wednesday manipulation, Thursday continuation, uh, low of the day, a protected swing formed prior to 9:30 driver 8 a.m. 9:30 should do what? Expand away. Let's get into it. मैं मार चला दूंगा गंदी वाली. This here, but off of the daily, the plausible objective was for ES, which could be reached in the same day. So preferred asset would have been ES. Is stronger at the same time, and the average daily range sports reaching for the objective. So anyhow, the framework is same, but just a simple asset selection, not too deep. Yes, being the stronger one, and the average daily range supporting expansion till there. So yes, stronger here. So manipulation here 9:30. We can frame continuation, but how? I wasn't even looking at the low time frame charts at this moment, but maybe that's the only mistake I did. I was just on M15, but why? I cannot tell a reason why I did not even had a look on the low time frame charts. Maybe this M15 doesn't look so clean, or I was more so focused on to YM at the same time. 9 a.m. here. It is here. YM had no clear bearish framework till this. Neither bullish, neither bearish, but still previous day low manipulation. So kinda bullish we can say, but bearish at least not until it hits this high of the day at least. So if any direction or narrative is into play, that is bullish, and that was for NQES, and NQES supporting this reversal with the continuation away from it. So better, yes, displacing away from here, yes, and ES showing the strength as well. But how? Lower time frame, yes, looked good, but I wasn't even looking at the lower time frame. The thing is that reversal of a fair, next open low, a clear protected swing formed prior to 9:30. 9:30 should do what? Expand. And if I have a clear framework prior to 9:30 and I have a objective open here, just leave this for a moment. Then I would want the, if I have too good framework, then I would want certain highs to be displaced through without even wanting to wait to see how it reacts there. Yes, it could be confirmation that okay, I would let it reach this here if I want to frame it till here. But certain frameworks are there which this had, just that M15 wasn't looking so clean. I didn't even bother watching the lower time frames. This looks clean, yes, hindsight 100% yes, but I was focused on to YM and this M15 not so clean. If I had took this as a way of price leg, then I could have considered, but these closures not so good. Low time frame 100% good, but yes, kinda my mistake that I neglected watching the lower time frame is, else this is a good framework to capitalize upon. Lower time frame 100% yes, as if we had bearish framework for RTY or YM, they weren't even like getting that alignment. YM, if I show the M50, no signs for bearish framework. Even if it wants to go lower, it should reach here first, like seeing how it is forming till then. So the bullish framework from NQS is into play. Bearish hasn't even formed yet, and the bullish framework for NQS has already been confirmed. RTY, we watch it at the same time. Continuation of this day, if I am expecting. I mean, this you could have considered only if 930 would have immediately melt away from here. है रिप्ले किस पे मारता मैंने इस पे मतलब safe chart left edge but kinda going too deep, but I like going deep. I like going as much deep as I can, trying to know every possible reason. If this wants, अगर मैं इस पे दिखा दूँ, like this previous day's continuation till here, if I am expecting this, and the next day should be open high, and then if this is formed prior to open bearish framework, then what? Lows should be displaced through. Then this shouldn't be rejected, this should be displaced through, right? But if this is not getting displaced through and instead rejected, that is again not a good sign for the bearish framework for it. Bearish framework never got confirmed for RTY and neither for YM. YM it hasn't even formed at that time. RTY maybe this could have held. YM it needed to go to high of the day. RTY is the only thing that could stop it. How I could have figured it out. This is 9 AM, this is 9:15. I mean, no clear signature again. Yes, one thing which I can come up with is RTY correlates with YM, and at the time of what 9:25 or something, YM was at a place that it needed to visit high of the day first, even if it wanted to go bearish. So even if I ignored NQS bullish framework, I just wanted to frame shorts, YM would have led me into waiting, which I also waited for these highs to get tagged first, even if I want to frame them lower. So waiting for YM, even if I want to RTY, would have been a step. So yes, RTY's framework could have been ignored at that time, and the only assets that had a framework from previous day and confirmed at the same time, these two. So yes, show this. So one thing which you could have done is taking this and putting the stops at break even once YM hits those objectives from where it could reverse. Because even if I go wrong with the idea, I still wouldn't lose anything. Parceling at high of the day if 1.5 hour and holding till there 2 hour. But what could have been considered is is कि if at this time 940 YM did hit these highs, right? So putting break even here, this would have been the step, because even if YM wanted to reverse this, I would have already taken out partials and protected or made my risk to zero. And if I get lucky and this held, then holding it to the moon, to the objective. If YM's framework does form, then I would take break even and frame YM. Yes, this is the best way I can come up. If you people would like to add anything, you can. And then somewhere here, और बस आराम से 2 hours, so 100% partialing there, like kind of 70% of the position, and then just holding till there with break even. Even if my idea gets wrong now, because YM, which is the asset in the middle, which has the opposite bias as well, like opposite framework as well, but it still needs to visit the high of the day and some high resting here, and this asset already has a bullish framework, so taking advantage of that could have been considered. Surely yes, 100% yes. Just why, would you like to add anything? I think I did good on my part, and I wasn't able to capitalize after it because I still was looking for BIM shots. They never formed, so I didn't. Just. I was like, क्या हाल है?
With the second entry, you entered
हो ही बताओ.
around E11. We
बता देते हैं वीर जी. Second entry, sir. It is here. Oh, मैं मार चलाऊंगा ये जो होने लगा था. हाँ ठीक है. Second entry. This. इसका मैं दूसरे टैब से नहीं, यहाँ औरली से बता दूं. यार इस पे ई क्यों नहीं ना लगा, इसको नीचे करते हैं. Like as I missed the entry around here, so what I saw is too much expansion. Then I would not expect expansion to then immediate expansion, and even if it happens, I wouldn't frame it anyways, which I said in the stream as well, right? So I was 100% expecting a new phase. Price has reached into an objective, expanded way too much continuously, so I would desperately want a new phase, which was there, and I would want the new phase to be retracement or consolidation. If I want to still frame it till here, I would not want that new phase to be reversal off of it. And that new phase, you can consider this as a consolidation, as a retracement, but this is clearly not a reversal off of here, right? If it was a reversal, then it would have gone immediately, not tagging and spending time here, right? So yeah, that adds to it. And now simple thing which I would do is, this simply looks like a consolidation to me, right? So I do not need to predict when the consolidation would end. Simply in a bullish order flow, what price does, expands, consolidates, or retraces, then again expand. I do not need to predict when it would start expanding again from consolidation, but I can know once if price is in a bullish order flow, you can view it vice versa for bearish. It consolidates. Consolidation is a continuation signature, and off of consolidation, price always expands in the previous direction, this to this. Either it can go by manipulating this, or it can go without manipulating this. But if we are in a bullish order flow, if it tags this, why would I want manipulation to be done here? Low should be rejected in a bullish order flow. But if it tags the high of the consolidation, I would want it to get displaced through. I would not want price to return, because that would be a high getting rejected. That is not adding confidence to my narrative. If I am bullish and price consolidates and tags the higher end of the consolidation, I would not want it to not want to see it return. I would be having an expectation of expansion, and expansion should displace through the consolidation high. So my eyes are just here or here, because that is where participation lies for me. I do not need to predict when it would tag this or this, just need to execute my plan. If it tags this, I need to see this. If it tags this, I need to see this towards here. So then it tags this. This is simply a clear one single level tag. Yes, I did miss, but the framework was still there, objective still open, average daily range supporting. So price did tag this, like it is about to tag, and now I would not want it to reject it or come way too deep in the range. Just small retracement, large expansion, small retracement, large expansion. That is what I would want. And price did the same, displacing through the consolidation range. So I wanted to execute on this, because this was still enough for me. There was SMT somewhere here, there, I do not exactly remember. Yes, here, right, this, and displacement away, and I would already want a protected low to form here. So yeah, displacement away. I originally wanted to take this, I end up missing it, went away for a minute. Then when I come back, this gets, it is has already starting to go higher again to my confidence. Then I put a limit order and just the same thing with my stop there, and this position is still running if I'm not wrong. Yes, it is still running.
Clear, sir.
सर आपको पता है रिकॉर्डिंग हो रही है.
ओके सर, पता नहीं था भाई.
मतलब दुनिया से था फिर अल्लाह ही दूसरा. Just by how was it? Like this was not so much of a concern to me. I wanted to go over this, how I could have told myself to keep my concentration on this and ignore the other asset. Why am, if I were to recap, prior to 9:30, at this time YM had chances that it could form a bearish framework, could, hasn't already formed, but it could. So even if it could form, where it could form is here, so it needs to reach here first. And so yes, even if I want to frame bearish, I would frame off of here. So yeah, YM tells me to wait. So if YM tells me to wait, then the asset, the best friend to YM, even if I want to short this, I would still want YM to align. So even if it starts going lower without me, I do have enough room till the objective. So yes, waiting for YM, still good option. Even if it starts directly going lower. Still enough room away from here. So waiting for YM and waiting for YM leading me to waiting for RTY could have been the step. And YM telling that it wants to reach for here first. Leave the thing if it wants to go higher or lower for the day. But here immediate draws, and that info could have been used to capitalize the assets which already have a bullish framework of previous day. Here intraweek manipulation, previous day reversal, next day continuation, and that is being confirmed clearly. ES being the stronger asset from NQ and ES, and average daily range supporting expansion till the full objective. So ES then could have been considered. With this as a protected swing formed prior to 930, 930 should do what? Expand till the objective. Enough range protected swing formed prior to driver should expand to the objective which is already open. Yes. Anything, if you people think I could add to it or where I could have done better, I tried my best to go as much deep as I could. One thing which I could have done is anyhow look at the low time frame charts prior to 930 as well, which I didn't do today. I was just viewing off of the M15. Didn't even pay attention to M5, M3 or the time frames below M15. So that is the reason off of the M15 I couldn't tell if ES, NQ or RTY, whichever does its job first. And just off of the M15, my idea to wait till high of the day looks good, but if I would have watched M5, M3 as well, then that 930 expansion higher could have been capitalized. Yes. That's why Ji, was it good, or I could add anything to it, or you could add anything to it? And other people in the audience as well can add to it. I am also a learner of the markets. I never stop. E-stop.
Bro, tell me one thing. Why you considered ES over NQ? I was not there, so if you already explained,
Yes sir, मैं बता
I
देता हूँ.
will watch your video.
ES over NQ of the daily chart, NQES both looked same 100% yes, है ना?
Yes.
But why ES over NQ? That is your question, right?
Yes.
NQES both had same framework 100%. I have kind of three reasons why ES and why not NQ. First thing, average daily range. It supports the expansion till the objective in the same day itself, which is this. This aligns with the average daily range, but NQ, I cannot be comfortable framing way past average daily range till the range high, which is what, 468 something, way past the average daily range, which is 400. So ES tells me that it can comfortably go till here because it is even less than average daily range. This is something personal discretion, you can say. Now second thing क्या थी? Yes, second thing, ES being stronger, but still NQ could be framed, but just ES being stronger, that is not the case. If you deeply have a look at the lower time frames, how ES and NQ formed around 930. Just by would have seen me many times framing the asset which looks weaker instead. So you people can question why ES here today, because I do have framed, or I do normally frame the assets which look weak in the beginning. But why not today? If you have a look at ES first, looks completely valid, right? From here to then here, 100% valid. Now let me show you NQ. है ना? Looks proper, good, expansive framework, right? Opposing candle supporting price there now. Same time NQ coming way back into the range. This now looks more of like failure swing to this. If you compare these two swings, yes, this is here way दूर को क्या बोलते हैं, bit
Or
far वाले सेंस में नहीं, पर like this still has separation from this, but NQ coming way too deep towards this. So yeah, can you see the difference? Like just compare this swing which is here to this swing. NQ coming all
this is
this.
best entry if you want to enter in ES.
Yes, like ES just simply looks clean as well. Not too deep of a thing. I would have could have framed NQ as well, but just see too large of a opposing line. Way till here in NQ, sorry, almost till there. ES still holding this, not coming all the way back till here. You can compare these two swings in NQ, है ना? So three reasons. ES still holding this respectfully, NQ holding as well, but NQ popping way deep, and ES looking stronger off of this here and stronger off of here as well, and average daily range supporting from the daily time frame to the objective as well. So why not? If you frame NQ, no worries, that still worked, right? Rhythm sir, is your doubt clear?
Yes, sir, understood.
जस्ट भाई, अब मैं ये ऑफ करता हूँ डाउट सेशन, इसके बाद रिकॉर्डिंग दूसरी करूंगा, ठीक है?
हाँ जी, हाँ जी।
ठीक।
मास्क भाई भी आ गए। ओम भाई, राधे राधे। राधे राधे भाई।
So I would end this recording here. And we can start a doubt session in a few minutes. Anybody has any doubts, or else I would officially end this recap. ADR को कैसे add करूँ? This is something not related to recap, more of a templates thing. So yes, I will go ahead and end the recording.